Hello and welcome back to Blood Rush League Season 4, lower bracket round 7, here with Aegis versus Evori. And up first, we have Aegis on the killer with our wonderful Fasty here on the artist up against our Evori survivors of Vast, Jojo, Shrimping, and Litos. And we are on the artist in Cold Tower 2. I'm joined by the lovely Ava. Ava, are you excited? I know you're an artist enjoyer, so this must be a very fun set for you.
I do absolutely love artist. So in the Curella, I currently have P100. And
Hell yeah.
yeah, I hope to see some interesting artist gameplay. And hold on,
Oh,
we were nearly mind gamed at Shack there, but
they make
luckily
the
getting to the
pallet.
pallet and
Yeah.
making that distance.
Can I get your thoughts
Um,
on the build? We have like Rapid Agi and then Corrupt
uh,
Ras.
it's a pretty stock standard build. I think Agi is very good on artist because she is quite good at
Mhm.
like getting hooks in the right areas, and that is a fairly quick down, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, we might be able to drag to a pain res.
Oh, there's one right here.
And yeah, rapid, I think, it's a very nice, safe kind of perk to have on artists. It just, survivors can just like really, if they don't want to get hit by birds, they can
Force
just
that one.
refuse to get hit by birds. And it's nice to just have that little bit of haste to like make it so survivors might question like, should I take the M1 here or not?
Oh, the birds. Yeah, yeah.
Um, I think it's still
That's
usually better to just take an M1 even with rapid in play, but
the,
just getting that little bit of distance so you're not like taking a M1 at edge map and then just W king mid map and just you
yeah.
know
I find with stuff like Severed Dung, like like the bird cooldown is so short. You get very little slowdown. Like if you take a bad bird, you could just get two tapped.
yeah, absolutely. And it looks like we're opting to just sit by this hook. We've got a
Mhm.
decent amount of gens quite close to the hook, so honestly,
I
I
think yeah,
think it's
Fasti
not
is
a
still
bad
good.
play here from Fasty. It's a very
Yeah,
quick down and not much gen prog on the board.
we
I
have
think a
birds
fourth
aim at the
second
hook.
before we even have one gen done. I think we
Yeah,
will
I
probably
think
be
this
at a
is an
fourth second.
excellent position. I would love to have a Deathhook survivor at 5 generators here, even if like 3 generators or maybe like 50%. Like this is such a good position. Like at this point, Jojo needs to be very careful. If they pull Jojo, Jojo needs to absolutely restart. Or we're looking like looking at a very early tunnel out here. We get a tag here. We know that the survivor is working 12. We have Litos on the ace getting hit by a bird, managing to clear it before the follow up. I don't know. Like we're probably gonna see a 3 gens pop, right, Ava? Like
We should see three gens pop, but then that's going to be
yeah.
two gens left, and they're all going to be relatively close. So it'll be quite defendable. And someone will have to come in for the pull eventually. So
Yeah, I assume the person
yeah,
there who just finished the gen, I believe it was Vas, is going to come in very momentarily to try and get Jojo off the hook. Like it's very important that they don't just let Jojo here die, because I think if Jojo dies here, it's a very hard situation. Even if you're entering it with 2 gens remaining and all survivors healthy, you still have to consider that there is no gen progress on the board, and like it's a 1v3, and it's very
oh, and
good.
we get the melee
Oh,
crow there, and it's going to be
and
a
the video.
forced trade here.
That was an
Um,
amazing bird, Ava. Oh my. Well played. But they do get the
we're
pull
going to
here
be
on.
committing for this tunnel out.
Yeah,
Um, running
expected.
towards main building, trying to be as far away from that four gen as possible. It's more like a three gen. The other gen at like nine-ish is a little bit far away. Someone else takes a bird tag there,
But
and
they don't make it.
on the
That's really
pallet
not good.
though, and we've got the ace here who's trying to hover for a pallet save, but I
Firecracker?
think they're just gonna take a tag.
Yeah, no, this is very good. And we do have a bird. Does it connect? No, it does not. And we are entering. Okay, this is danger here, Ava. We're entering the 1v3. Sure, 2 gens remaining, no gen prog on the board, but we have 3 injured survivors. Like, that's a bit scary.
We have three injured survivors, and we kind of know that they're all probably still stationed around the bot side, looking for a reset. We did get the reset off, so that was obviously a triple reset there.
Yeah,
And I think we'll see the survivors try to spread apart a little bit and play their chases as good as possible because we're gonna need a good chase if we want to see any more gens pop.
that is true. And I mean, at this point, do you think how many gens do you think will pop? Like, what will the result of this game be in your opinion?
I think it's all dependent on what these chases are looking like, but with a
Down like
survivor
that.
zoned right there, right in the four gen, this might be quite
Yeah.
a
I
tough
mean,
ask to get any more gens popped.
In the current state of the game, I'm thinking like it might be a 4K1. It very much could also be a 4K2. It really depends. But I think with the hook in this position and the gens with this much gen pressure on the board, I think it's gonna be very hard for our survivors to get more than a 4K1 here.
And we get an injury
Oh my
there with the little
lord.
snipe.
That
Um,
was amazing. That was amazing. Fasty lethal with these birds, Ava. Oh, you come
we
here
are
for a
getting a
poke?
bit of a jiggy pull here, and it's kind of what it called for. And that is a melee crow as well, taking the tag there. We might even be able to get multiple downs here with the severed
Oh,
hands. And that is a snipe on Vast, and we commit here
Ava,
onto
that
shrinking.
was amazing bird there. This is so big. We're not gonna commit. We're gonna. Oh, we have zoned the survivor. Janet's looking like about to pop here, but we have kind of zoned the survivor away from the slug, and we're chasing the other survivor in towards the slug. This, this is dangerous here.
And
Though,
that is the power of the severed hands add-on. If you're swarmed near another survivor, it just
yeah,
spreads instantly, and it makes taking bodies and just
yeah,
trying to protect your teammates or taking crows for your teammates extremely hard and risky. To the point where it's like oftentimes you just want to let the survivor play their chase from a distance, and
yeah.
you know
I think the severed hands though is such an essential add-on for this killer in comp because I feel like without it, she's just kind of gets bullied by survivors playing in pairs.
absolutely she's quite weak towards double chasing in pairs, and
Mm-hmm.
severed hands only makes it like somewhat more risky. But if you play it right, if you
You can
take
still
the
kill.
birds from a distance, if the survivor, if the killers are setting up a stagger or something, taking that back bird so that they can't get a hit.
I think this is
um
it, Ava.
this is probably it. It looks
Oh
like a
my.
4K2, unless we can see a generational chase here. But nope, we're just. Was that
Wrong
deception?
locker? Wrong locker. No, no, they just went into the other locker. Oh no. Ava, what do you think? 4K2. This means a 4K3 win condition here for our survivors of for our killer of Evori, sorry. What do you on Cold Tower 2, 4K3 on artist? I don't know. I feel like that's a
I
bit
honestly
hard.
don't think artists should ever 4K3 unless there is some serious like ping involved or
Oh,
something.
Ace
We do have a
disappears as
DC
we
here.
get it down.
Um,
Oh my.
I'm
No,
sure
but that will be a
the reps
4K2.
will be in communication if that DC is anything or
Yeah,
not. But yeah, that looks like a 4K2 there for
yeah.
fast. Yeah, it's a very good result
I
on
mean,
Cold Tower 2.
there is always a world where the killer like get some insane shit done and the survivors make a significant enough mistake to get 4K3 in artist, but
Indeed,
it's
but
not a likely world.
when you're on Survivor and your win con is 4K1, you're going in thinking, oh, we just need to pop 4 gens, and you can kind of let that tunnel out happen. You can kind of
Yep.
just play your chases in the right spot, just hold W, don't zone yourself to like an edge map palette, and just make it really hard for the artist to get quick enough downs to really, you know,
Yeah,
uh, get enough pressure to even threaten a 4K, let
and
alone a
and
4K 2 or 3.
I think as well good death spots will definitely be key here because like at the end of the day, right? Sure, artist has a projectile that goes across the map, but again, really competent survivors shouldn't often get injured across map by birds, and so like it usually forces the artist to have to walk towards different like the faraway gens if you die across the map. And at the end of the day, she's a 4.6 killer with no like map mobility, right? So that
Yeah.
definitely can be a thing you could punish her with, I feel.
And if you're getting swarmed from a far distance, you can just hop in a locker. It's
Yeah,
just as simple as that, and then the artist just can't do anything. Um,
just keep going
so
back in the same locker and force her to walk there. And a map like Cold Tower 2 is fairly large. It does take a while to walk from 6 to 12. And so if you have good death spots, either at top 12 or at bottom 6, and you do the gens on the opposite side, it can be a bit rough here for the killer. So 4K3 is a hard ask. But I think, Ava, like 4K3 is hard, but I think we might see a tie with the 4K2. Though I'm not sure but both teams are exceptionally good. So anything can happen, right?
yeah, I think it's possible, but it is unlikely. I think
Mhm.
generally, once you know that you just have to pop 4 gens, the pressure on the survivors is
That is true.
so
It's
it's
significantly less.
alleviated. Like
Yeah.
there's you can kind of go in, you can chill, you can talk about your day on the comms, and you'll
Talk
probably be
about your day on
fine.
the comms is crazy, Ava.
Well,
All
we'll
right.
go into the next set and we'll see if if they can
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, we'll get the next lobby started. We'll see you guys then. Be right back. Hello and welcome back to Blood Rush League Season 4, lower bracket round 7. Here we have Aegis versus Evori once again, and we are on our second game of our first set of Artisan Cold Tower 2, which was Aegis' pick. But now we have Evori on the killer and Aegis on the survivor. We have Shrimping here on our killer for Evori and Shen, Drago, Fasti, and Wubex on survivor for Aegis. And we have a win condition here for Shrimping of 4k3. An attack condition of 4k2. I'm joined by Ava. Ava, how are you? And it looks like Ruin is gone.
Well, as we were loading in, I was taking a look at the build as you do, and I was thinking Ruin is probably the perk that we really need if we're going to be looking for a 4k3 win con. You know, you need to get that pressure going and then force those rotations, get the survivors off gens, and just let Ruin eat them alive. But it seems we've been hit with the curse and we've lost our Ruin
In the
about
first
10
20.
seconds into the game, so
Yeah,
you know, it never feels good. It never feels good. And
honestly, Ava,
sometimes
it's me when I use hexes, I think. Like
yeah,
I-
this is why we run Thrill of the Hunt in the pubs, you know, because there's always that one Michaela with a map that
Hey!
knows every single boon location and just decimates your totems within 5 seconds.
Yep.
But we do have a quick down here and some nice crows. We
Yeah, but very good
able to
down.
get a pain res
And a pain
here.
res. I just want to say, don't throw shade at Michaela. They're doing their best. And hey, booning those totems are very important, you know, can win the game.
I mean, honestly, it's not even shade. If I'm loading in with a hex build and I see a Michaela in the lobby, I second guess my build and I might throw on that, you know, that more stock standard pain res eruption pop.
Yeah, fair enough. Bro, it's hexes are such a big 50-50. They sometimes they just absolutely can win the game on the spot. And sometimes they're just dead first 10 seconds. And unfortunately, this is the latter. But we have a For the People, Ava, so early in the game, still on first hook. What do you think of that?
I think we're just trying to delay that tunnel out when I don't really mind if they go for fresh hooks because, you know, the pain res, it can provide a little bit of slowdown, but I'm pretty sure these survivors are pretty content with just sitting there, popping 4 gens, and then, you know, getting out, going next set. GG, well played, good luck next. And we're dying full edge here.
This is really good death spot by Shen here. Really well played. Gen pops, 4 gens remaining. Another gen pops, 3 gens remaining. We are at our win condition, Ava, with 2 hooks, 2 fresh on the board.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, we'll have to see something miraculous. And as you can see, they're just hopping in the locker, getting rid of that swarm instantly. Really just making that ranged pressure become nothing, you know, as we take this chase down this 9 side of the map.
Lockers are very, very strong to get rid of the birds instantly. And we are a bit zoned here, so we're going to be taking a tag. We're going to pop our rapid with that tag, and we will be in pursuit. However, we do get the pull in the background. I don't know, are we just going to try and get as many pain reses as we can right now to slow the game down? I think right now we need to get the tunnel out if we want to get this win condition or the tie condition, but looks like they're gonna pull Shen here, and they are still broken, so the reset won't happen. Birds come connect. I don't know. Ava, what do you think? Like, do you agree with going for... Oh, sorry. Do you agree with going for this chase instead of, like, going back to the hook?
I mean, it's tough. Like, the thing is, when you have a win condition like this, you're kind of just throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks because, like, going for the tunnel out, you know, they all just... You're not pressuring other survivors. They're all sitting on gens, and they're probably pretty happy with just letting that survivor die as long as they get 4 gens popped. At the same time, if you do get a tunnel out at like 5 or 4 gens, then like maybe, you know, you can make something work, but like you're really on the back foot when you're, you know, playing for a 4k3 win con. It's just hard, and
holy blind.
It's not a position I would ever want to be on killer.
No, same.
I've what you have to work with, you know.
Yeah, I've been in this position before, and let me tell you, it's very, very nerve-wracking. I'm like, how do I make this work? So many stuff so many stuff like you think you could be thinking about like should I do this? And then at certain points I'd end up second guessing myself, and then that causes me to fall even more behind. But I guess that's just a skill issue on my end. But it is still a hard position to play. I agree.
I mean, there's a lot of killers on this game. I think. Oh, we do get the short swing there,
Yeah, it was
and
really
you
good.
know, maybe
A
that's what we need, a cheeky
But
little short swing. But that's the tie condition met. It's
yeah,
not looking too favorable for our
we do
killer
get the
here.
mid hook here. This is a nice hook to have, but like it's worse already at the tie condition. Our survivors here can just let this guy sit, like do the safe gen, like double stack the safe gen, and what do? You know what I'm saying?
We are trying to pressure that safe gen, probably making a bit of a read on the survivors that,
Yeah.
they're just gonna sit. They're just gonna sit gens. It's
Drago
as
with a
easy as
beamer.
that. They do get a fairly quick pull though, so.
Yeah. We do get
And a
a good
swarm
hit.
here.
Will we
That's
see
a
a follow
prediction
up?
on them going
No, we're
wide.
going for instead. We're going for Shen here instead. I mean, I do think that if we kill Shen here in the next like what 10 seconds, this is a good thing to do, and it might put us back into the game. But we have to take into consideration just how spread these gens. It's 12 and 6, or is that 11 and 6? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's tough for Heartless to defend this, especially with no ruin.
Yeah, and I think,
And
just dying in this far corner, like,
yeah,
it's a pretty planned death, I don't think that Shen's gonna be too upset. I don't think there's gonna
exactly.
be
There
any
we go.
toxicity in the endgame chat with that tunnel out. I think they will happily accept it for the gen to pop and for the win condition to be met. No minus reps on the Steam profiles this time.
No,
I
no
think it's
minus
gonna be.
reps. No, where was my hit take, guys? Nah, that was really well played by our survivors there. That death spot was immaculate and really does get that last gen, giving the first set here to our team on Aegis. Very, very well played. I think
Indeed, and
really Fasty really set their team up with success with their artist game earlier. Very, very
I
good
mean,
stuff by
just
them.
getting a very quick down in your gen setup and just being able to, do what Artist was very best at, especially in her heyday back with 60-second hook stages and hook grabs, and just sit there, camp the hook. It's not exactly as efficient now, but when you get it down that quick, you can
Yeah.
just sit there. You can just, get the marshmallows out and, just have a lovely, relaxing time.
Yeah, and I think also like they did come to double unhook, but the fact that the person was already like they let them go second, I think was a big thing into why that game kind of spiraled really quickly in Fasty's favor.
Yeah, and on the survivor end, it's a bit of a tough call to make, and we do win a 50 there, and we make this
Oh
pallet as well.
no, that's
Um,
unfortunate.
when you do have a quick down on survivor,
Yeah,
it's
do you
hard
like
to make
pull?
that
Do you
call.
let
Do
them
we
go
just
second?
let them go second and pop 3 gens? Do we, try play for that last second trade and
Yeah,
hope that their next chase can be better and can get in a better spot? Like, it's a hard decision to make,
that is
really.
true.
Like, the first chase is just the most important chase, and
Yeah,
that's why I will never listen to any pub teammates which say,
don't drop
don't drop
shack.
track at
Oh
5,
my lord, yeah, that is
drop
the
that
biggest.
pallet at 5,
That, in my
get
opinion,
that
that's the
pallet out of
biggest.
there.
Oh my god,
Plus 10
Drake.
wood for the killer is much better than plus 1 pain res, 1 hook state, and a whole load of pressure.
Yeah.
It's
Drago here managed through the beamer. But yeah, I do agree. I think it's a very common like misconception that dropping the shack on first chase is bad. I think that's the best possible place to drop shack, because if you have 3 survivors working generators and that shack pallet extends your chase by like what 20 seconds, that's 20 times 3 generate seconds on generator total, right? Because 20 seconds, 3 survivors, 60 seconds. If you do it later in the game and you only have like 2 survivors on a generator and extend the chase by the same amount of time, that's only 40 seconds. That's less gen time for the pallet. So yeah,
at the end of the day here, 8 stages for fresh. A pretty respectable
yeah,
result on the artist.
I
Honestly,
think
like
so.
if I get 8 stages for fresh against a solid team,
Mhm.
I'm gonna be fairly happy with myself. I
I
might be
think
like, oh, I could have done a bit more. I could have gotten that quick tunnel out, but you know, it's still
yeah,
a very respectable result. It's just unfortunate that, you know, the survivor set maybe didn't go to the way they planned it out or the way they, had it running in
yeah.
scrims. It
I think
happens,
I
and
think Fasty.
unfortunately,
I think it's just big credit to how well Fasty played that. They really
indeed.
capitalized on that quick down. Then they really capitalized on like entering the 1v3 with all the injured survivors. That was beautiful work by them. Um, But yeah, like so that means that Aegis is leading 1-0, and we are on to Lich next, Ava. What are your thoughts on Lich?
Well, I don't mind the Lich. I think the Lich has got quite a respectful reputation in comp as just a fairly run of the mill set. It's quite common now, often on either Dead Dog Saloon or Orman Lake Mine, to
Yeah.
take advantage of those elevations on those maps, which can make the skeletons a little less of a zoning tool and a bit more of a lethal kind of skill shot. Um,
And we
Honestly, not my favorite set to play on Survivor, but it's an interesting set nonetheless. And you have that macro tool with the orb. You
and
have your fly for a bit of mobility.
yeah.
He's very much a jack of all trades, master of none sort of killer the Lich. And I think if survivors play well, they can really highlight his weaknesses. But if the
Mhm.
killer pops off, you can often see
Really quick.
surprising results.
Yeah,
It's
the
it's a
Lich
very
definitely. Sorry, go ahead.
it's a very like volatile set, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say the Lich is definitely a character that can just end chases just like that. You can see two taps come very often. Like you take a bad skull, take a bad mage hand, and you might just die, right? Like, um, and we we are on Ormond Lake Mine. There is that elevation we can play, and that main Ava. I sorry. So whenever I play against Lich in Ormond Lake, man, I dread the main. I dread main. Playing main against them. It's just they have so much things they could do there with their power.
Indeed. But I guess we'll see how it goes as we
Yeah.
hop into the intermission and we go to the next set.
All right. We'll see you guys in a bit. Hello and welcome back to Blood Rush League Season 4, lower bracket round 7 here with Aegis versus Evori. We are on our first game of our second set with Evori's pick this time of Lich here in Ormond Lake Mine up against our Aegis survivors, Wobex, Shen, Fasti, and Drago. We have Shrimping back at it again, trying to set the win condition for their team. I'm joined by Ava. Ava, how are you?
I am pretty good, and we do have quite an early find here on Shen. We might leave that though because underneath Orman like mine, it's not exactly where you want to chase. Even if you got a tunnel out, sometimes it's like, oh, I gotta leave that.
Yeah,
But
that is true.
we do find a bit of a better position here, finding our
Oh,
Meg and Drago, and we do get a quick tag. And
very
I
good
just want
tag.
to point out this build. We've got batteries included, which is
Yeah,
honestly, I think, a very slept on perk.
I think batteries is one of those perks. It's hard to visualize the value it gives you throughout the match, but it is there, and what a beautiful insta skull there on the Drago.
That is a fairly quick down right in the mid map, and on Orman Lake Mine, you are, licking your lips for one of those top mid hooks where you can just sit around, sit on main building even, and just watch and
Yeah,
observe.
these. I've Orban Lake Mine is one of my most played maps, and I love these mid hooks. When you have a good one, when you have a good pain rest in that mid area, oh, it's beautiful. And we are going for an extremely fast pull here. Oh my! I don't know, Ava. What do you think of the fast pull there?
I think it's one of those things where you kind of just have to send it because being hooked there makes it really hard to do anything, to get any
That's
gen
true.
prog, to
It is a
reset
bit
if a
rough.
tag is given. It's just rough
Yeah.
because you do not want the killer to be having the pressure on that part of the map. And I think allowing the chase to come in, and we get
Oh,
a double hit with the skeletons. And this is what I was talking about with those elevations. You can really just force survivors into some situations where they've got to pull out some masterful jukes, or they
yeah,
just have
that
they're
was
just
that
dead.
was rough. But yeah, that's as you were saying. Like this set can be very volatile, and chases can either take infinite years or end just like that. And it's looking like we are seeing the latter happen here.
And we are also seeing another top mid hook and another fast pull. Again, not wanting to see, you know, that
Yeah,
ability to camp the hook and just sit there and watch all the gens. But we don't really
it's
have many resources down at this 5 area, so we're going to have to take some bodies. And again, with the skeletons, this might be a 2-tap. In fact, it
oh,
is, and that's a 2-tap. And we
I
already
don't
know
know.
what the meg is, and they don't really
Yeah,
have a lot to work with. They'll
I
have
mean they have
these
double
piles
pallets.
at 2,
I like
but
the double
you
pallet,
know, you
but
break one, and then
now what?
what's next? With batteries included, providing a little bit of haste to catch up here, and the mage hand coming through. This might just be an early death.
It's a death at 3 generators remaining, and I just want to say, what do you call that? I think Shrimping has capitalized really well with the pathing of the survivors. They seem to have taken that pathing towards that like dip in front of Shax both times, and both times we've gotten good skull hits here to get some big value for our killer.
And with that, we are instantly in chase again. No
Here,
downtime for our killer right now.
yeah, Fasty
I
and
do
Chase.
believe we'll make this window,
Oh,
but
they get a tag. They don't make the window, Ava.
well, I would like to, speak with Shrimping's net provider there because something is wrong with the infrastructure if we're hitting through that window there. But, we love to see it. We love a little bit of ping cheese. It's always
I mean,
well,
I don't think it's fake cheese. I think it's just kind of just how the game is sometimes.
it
Unfortunately,
is what it is.
it is what it is. That is true. We have 3 survivors. Once again, we are in the situation with 3 survivors injured in the 1v3, and it's looking dire here for our survivors. 2 generators remaining, but it could snowball so quickly here for them.
And if survivors do want to take chase away from those active generators, they're probably going to be running around, some finished generators. And on this map, batteries included, it really just can make a lot of these tiles become super unsafe, especially when you have that mage hand to, lift pallets and really just force
Pretty,
survivors into some situations where they've got to think fast or they're going to be down.
yeah, and it's like pretty much like Bloodlust 1 permanently on while you're around these completed gens, right?
Bloodlust when you could still use your power, which is
Yeah, that
honestly
is true. It's
a
nuts.
lovely thing to have. And I think more people are kind of catching on to the fact that batteries is honestly like a pretty good utility perk. It's pretty good for, good survivors are always going to try to take those chases away from, the active generators. So you're always going to be getting those little incremental bits of value, and it's always going to help you out.
That is true. It
Especially
also
on killers that have to rely on walking a lot.
Yeah, and it also a thing to note also, right? You get the haste outside of chase as well, so it also helps the map rotations a bit.
And it adds that little bit of extra speed to your fly, which honestly is quite neat for that little extra bit of mobility,
Yeah.
disrupting those generators. And
We could see here Fasty is broken, as I believe they have procced Clean Break, so in about a minute we will see them get a health state back.
Clean Break is another one of those perks which I think is quite slept on, and honestly, with the amount of healing perks in public games that are allowed, it might be not considered one of the best. However, it is receiving a buff pretty soon to be 45 seconds, and I think that when it's that, I'm going to start running that because I honestly love Clean Break and I love the design of it. I think
that
is wrong but fair, and it's honestly just a really
I think
interesting pack.
the reason why you don't see a lot of it more. Oh, unfortunately, Shen goes down there. I think the reason you don't see it a lot more, right, is because it's just, and when you're playing pubs with no balancing, it's a like you're it's like on opportunity cost. Will you rather have Clean Break, or will you rather have Second Wind? Will you rather have Clean Break, or will you have like what? Botany Solidarity.
I think you just take Resurgence these days. Resurgence is just so broken. It's like, well, why not run it?
Yeah, but in like tournaments like this where there is balancing here for our killers, and in this against the weaker killers, you're limited. You're a lot more limited with what perks you can take, and I think Clean Break is such a good perk here in like the lower tier sets. Really gets
a couple fakes with the skulls, and then we're getting the hit in, and we're putting on a bit of a Lich masterclass here. Honestly, if you need a how-to guide on how to play the Lich,
I think Shrimp here is like kind of cracked on the Lich. I'll be so honest. Such wonderful skulls. Ava, I think almost every one of these skulls have like gotten like really good hits.
Yeah, and it is one of the situations where if you don't really know how to use the skulls, if you don't know how to take advantage of those elevations, or take advantage of knowing that survivors can't really crouch or stop running, or they're just going to take an M1, to just land them on top of them and just get those very quick downs with very little hit cooldown. So even if you're just taking an injury, it can often turn into a 2-tap, especially if you've got your mage hand active as well.
That is true. But a thing to note, right? The main weakness of it, it's really strong, but it's also on a high cooldown. You're seeing like 30 seconds to 40 seconds cooldowns on each of the Lich's skills, which is I think the main weakness of this killer.
Yeah, you have to be using your power efficiently, or you do just become Purple Evan. And, you're hitting the 2x
But
trap around the Almond Lake Mine. It's not exactly.
Purple Evan is crazy. Sorry. All right, that's a good calm by you, I think.
Taking chase here now onto the Claudette at this 11 water tower.
Very good
Getting the
tag.
tag, and
And we know Fasty here on Sable is in Shack, and I think it's at this point is going to be a 4K2 considering it's a 1v2 at this point at this situation. Ava.
yeah, I mean, there's no need to ever commit a
Ooh.
chase here. Like, you can just bounce between, stall out the game for 10 minutes, and,
Will we see Insta Skulls? Yeah. Well played.
we are just the master of the skulls here, shrimping.
And yeah, I think Fasty here is not going to be able to finish this gen in time. The aura means that they can't restart, and we're going to be entering our final chase of the trial.
Last chase, let's make it a good one. Let's see what we can do.
It's Fasty. Fasty is a good player. It's probably going to be a good chase. I believe. But they have no Shack.
Hold on Shack, and
We're doing the Lich ones right now.
we are indeed.
Oh, Bloodlust 1
Bloodlust
with
coming in,
batteries.
this will be a tag.
Bloodlust 2 pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, the
big
50.
swing. Well played on Fasty with that fault, but I think they are kind of dead here. We have skulls, nothing they can do, and that will be it, unfortunately.
4K2 on the Lich on Almond Lake Mine, a very good result. And again, putting those survivors into that pop 4 gens and your win setup is a really big confidence booster. You can start to play far more safe. You don't have to take those risks of, taking hits for the tunnel out. You can just pre-drop pallets and, hold your distance and have your 3 other teammates cranking those motors and, you're sweet.
Yeah, it looks like we're looking for Ubex here. I believe they are at 12. The thing is, like, we have another 4K2, so that means the win condition of 4K3. It's Lich. On average, we've been seeing Lich get, 4K1s to stages? So, yeah, seeing this happen is very good. And we have another DC here, unfortunately. But no, that will be our 4K2 pretty much here for our lovely, lovely killer. Shrimping doing such a good job setting their team up for a pretty cruisy survivor set. It is up to Aegis here to try and claw this back. Oh, poor Claudette getting married. But if we don't, if Evori does take this set, we do have a tiebreaker of Chucky in Ormond Lake Mine. So that's also really fun. But we'll get that next lobby set up here. But I don't know. Ava, do you think 4K3 on Lich?
I generally don't think any killer should be getting 4K3, and when you get 4K3 on Survivor, it's usually because something has gone horribly wrong.
Yeah,
it happens.
Blight.
It does happen.
I would say Blight can
even
4K3.
even Blight. You pre-drop those pallets, you play your chasers safe, and you die in the right spots. And even Blight, a 4K3 is still a very good result on the killer. It requires perfect chase mechanics. It requires perfect macro, catching those people on rotations. And when you're in an S tier set, you've got those perks like Deliverance allowed. So you'd probably be hoping to, find that Delhi survivor first, getting a hook in your gens, and maybe finding someone playing for a save or something to
it really has to line up. It really has really have to line up to get a good result like that. But I don't know, we're gonna have to see. Because they might not get the 4K3, we might see a 4K2 tie. That has happened several times this season, Ava, and it's always so hype. Because I love it when the games are really close and you can tell that each team is clawing their way to try and get that win.
And I just love seeing a tiebreaker.
True.
I hate a 2-0. I like seeing a tiebreaker. I want to see as many sets as possible.
You want to see the Chucky set?
Like when it was the DBD League Finals, I was hoping to see that reverse sweep attempt just so we could get all the sets, see all the killers played. I just love that variety. It's just
for us casters and viewers, it's just more stuff to like more content, more entertainment for us. Yep, yep. So
On the Survivor side, you'd rather go 2-0 and
yeah,
go
guys,
home, go
yeah,
happy,
I'm
have
like,
your dinner,
guys,
and log off. Like
like
it's
imagine you're playing a best of 7, guys. I've played 6 out of the 7 killer games. I want to go home. I'm so tired.
yeah. Like
It's been 2 hours.
at that point, you've cracked open your fourth monster, and you're really just your heart rate is carrying you through the the trial.
Yep.
But we will go through to the next trial and see what happens, and see if we will see a tiebreaker set or if we can see some kind of miracle 4K3.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, like, hey, it's not out of the quest. It's not out of the question yet, but I think it's going to be quite unlikely. So we'll get that next lobby sorted, and we'll see how likely it really is. Hello and welcome back to Blood Rush League lower bracket round 7 here, sorry, in season 4. I got that mixed up. We are back at it with Aegis versus Evori, here with our second game of our second set, with Aegis on the killer and Evori on the survivors. This is Evori's pick of Lich in Ormond Lake Mine, and we have a win condition here for 4K3, and we have our lovely Fasty once again back at it on the killer against Litos, Shrimping, Jojo, and Vas. And a very early tag here. Ava, how are you? What do you think? Very early
I'm
tag here.
good. Again, we're chasing a win con, and we've got the Ruin on, and hopefully this time. Well,
Ava!
cast is curse. Cast is
Ava, what
curse.
have you done? Ava, you can't just do that to them.
Unfortunately, I brought Counterforce into the trial. I know it might have been banned, but I've got it, so it's unlucky.
Yeah. I love it. Like we have Ruin here, and it's gone. But we do have batteries once again.
I mean, I am liking the pick of batteries, and we've got a little juke there with the crouch, greeting the pallet, and this might be a tag. I think,
yeah. Fastball again.
Well, I think, the fast pulls, keeping the game fast. Sometimes you don't really want to let them hang, especially when the killer's committed to a chase on the other side of the map.
Yeah.
You want to hope that, the tunnel out potential can, re-stealth.
But unfortunately, we are not able to re-stealth Ava, and we are in chase. We're going to drop. Ooh, very good. Not going to mage hand it.
And it was only in the past couple of months that I learnt that this pallet is in fact not a god pallet, and the killer can actually outplay it, and it's just another way that the Lich can outplay it with the mage hand. But
that is true. I mean, I still think even if the killer can outplay it, I still think it's a pallet that favors the survivor rather than the killer. It's still a really strong pallet, I feel.
It is a very strong pallet, but it also has its weaknesses, and there are some funny little mind games you can pull to catch the survivor off guard, because a lot of people just think it's a very safe pallet. They just sit there looking both ways, and then you come from the top, you drop down, you swing, and all of a sudden, panic settles in.
Or, you spit at them through the floor or the wall, through the stairs.
I mean, when we're talking about killer powers, I think there is a number of killer powers that can bypass the strength of that pallet, but even just on the pure M1, it's completely safe.
I still like that palette. I still struggle with it when I'm playing killer against it. It's a safe palette.
It's a gamble to play for certain, but if you're confident, go for it.
Sometimes you can get sometimes you can get like a cheeky quick down on it, but I think it's still like again favoring the survivors. Oh, and very surprise Claudette here with a tag and a down. I don't know. At this point, Ava, what do you think? We have a death hook at 4 generators. Claude just pulled. We're gonna get a pain res, and we're probably gonna instantly fly after our death hook. Survivor?
Well, we do have 2 other gens with decent amounts of progress, so I think as long as we're able to get a good drop on Shack, not get mage handed, and
Not get
you
stalled.
know
Oh, but we're
not
going
get
down on
stalled.
elevation here, Ava.
And I don't know. I think I would have just played Shack, but ooh, we do get downed and an insta pick. I doubt there's anyone here for the pallet
Yeah.
save, and that will be the end of the trial for our ACR. 4 gens remaining, and
Yeah.
the 4K3, it's possible. It
Yeah.
could happen, but we're gonna need some fast chases, some quick tags, and some split pressure as well, as we do see that on the hard, Vars is almost about to pop a gen here. And we do have, about 50% on this main gen, not quite. No pop or eruption, so not really anything that can put a large amount of regression on the gen until we get a pain res.
That is
Um,
true. But yeah, like you said, we're just limited to dry kicks and 2 pain rest charges here on Shrimping and Vast, but then they are both also healthy. So not the best position here in terms of gen regression, like inability to regress gens. But again, we are entering it with an injured survivor, so we could potentially maybe down Jojo near an active gen and hook them. We are in chase here with Shrimping though, which does force him off of this gen. We are at 3 gens remaining, and I don't know, dodging the firecracker there. Very well played, but also dodge on the skulls.
but there is that zoning potential for the more basic use of the Vecna skulls is
Yeah,
just forcing that survivor to crouch and getting that distance.
and we
And you
did
see
see
that
it
there's not
right
a
there.
resource nearby. It's a quick tag.
Yeah, and we saw it right there. Very good M1 here by Fasti. I think both Fasti, like both Fasti and Shrimping, are very good Lich players. Like they're really good with their power use. I feel Ava.
I would agree, and we do get this down here on main. A pain
Pain
res
rest.
quickly will interrupt that gen at around 10-11 that was
Mhm.
quite high in progress. We've seen the reset come in on JoJo, so not a whole lot of gen prog, but Vars is still working that gen, so we're
We
gonna have
see.
to keep those tags coming quick.
I think this is Jojo here. We are in chase with, and they pre-drop this pallet here in this 4 lane. I am a big fan of the hook in main, of that hook in main, especially when it's main rest Ava. I really, really like that hook, especially when you're holding the top side of the map.
It is a very nice hook to have, if you're in a situation where you can camp, which is not this situation because obviously we just have to constantly
Yeah,
pressure survivors and make
we
sure
can't
nobody pops a gen.
we can't let that sit, like if we sit around up there, Janet Shack pops and it is tie. But and I think Fasti here, I don't think they want to tie Ava. I think they want the win.
Yeah, usually I think
In general, people
fellas,
want to win.
they generally want to win.
Yeah, same fair.
These
Very
toxic
good
comp
back.
sweats, all they care about is winning.
Yeah, oh my god, typical comp killer SMH.
Might be a couple minus reps on the Steam profile for tunneling at 4 gens there, and we do get it
Yeah,
down on Vast. This is another pain res, and it's a fairly quick hook, so there's still a possibility for a 4K3. These two
yeah.
survivors are facing a difficult decision on do
Oh,
they risk it? They did risk it. They risked it. They popped the gen. They met the Tycon.
yeah,
But
but
2 injuries, a hooked survivor, not a whole lot of other prog on the board with pain res hitting that other gen.
and
We
and
might be
like
able to tie this.
yeah, and also what do you call that? Our gens here are like all in like the top part of the map. Like the one gen they were able to do was the safe gen at Shack. That was very hard for Fasti to defend and defend the top gens here. But now we have like what, a gen 11, a gen 10, 11, main and mid. And at this point, we are probably entering our final chase with a 4K2 once again. What a tie.
And honestly, we've seen some high tier Lich gameplay here.
Yeah,
We've
like
really been able to get those results and, you know, make the
uh,
Lich look quite powerful. And he
yeah,
does have that good power on Orman Lake Mine.
I just want to say, like, yeah, Shrimping and Fasti, just amazing Lich players. Like you said earlier, an absolute masterclass on how to use this killer on this map. It's just I think they've taken advantage of every one of their powers multiple times each game. Massive fly value, massive dispelling sphere value, massive skulls and mage hand value. It's crazy, Ava.
Indeed it is. And with that tie, we will be heading in to the third set, which I believe is
It's
Chucky on
it
Ormond Lake
is.
Mine.
Yes, once again to the Armand Lake Mine. I wanna say, Ava, were you expecting it to tie after Ruin got cleansed that early into the match? I was really worried.
I'm gonna be real. I thought it was Jova.
Yeah?
I thought that this was gonna be like maybe 8 stages once the ruin was cleansed. But then when we had that tunnel out coming in quick, I was like, well,
Hold up.
this might
Yeah,
actually turn into something, and
for
it
sure,
does
for
mean
sure.
we will see a quite rare for comp Chucky set also on Ormond Lake Mine.
Can I get
Something
your
I've not really ever casted, so I'm
No, that's
quite
fair.
interested to see how people will, use his power, his dash, his little bits of stealth, which on a bit of an open map they don't really do much with comms and everything, but
Mhm.
they're all right,
I I've seen Chucky several times before. I've seen him on Father Campbell's Chapel, and I've seen him, I believe, in DBS and in Ormond Lake Mine. Those are like the three maps I've seen him in, and it's always interesting to see the Chucky play gameplay. It's you definitely have like these killers that you could tell really enjoy their Chucky, and they get some insane scamper. I've seen scamper chains through multiple windows to get a tag. It's wild. I don't know. Um, but yeah, no, I'm happy. Like you said, Ava, I'm happy that we are going into the tiebreaker. More content is more fun here. So we're gonna go load in, and we're gonna have to see how it goes. Hello and welcome back to Blood Rush League Season 4, lower bracket round 7 with Aegis versus Evori here with our tiebreaker of Chucky. And we have Aegis up first here in Ormond Lake Mine with once again Fasty on our killer up against the Shrimping Vast Jojo and Litos. I'm joined with me by Ava. Ava, how are you? Excited for our Chucky set?
I am actually quite excited. Chucky probably not one of my you know regular killers I see in comp, not super popular,
Yeah?
but that's always interesting to see,
Not
how
unless
different killers can adapt to a, competitive
yeah. I think
competitive set.
I think Chucky is it's in the comp setting. I think based off of my experience casting this killer, it's so important to get the slice and dice downs because you're a 4.4 killer. Good survivors, despite you having a third person view and being able to check spot the survivors yourself, you're probably going to struggle to get like consistent M1 downs against really good survivors here.
And we get a quick down and also a tag onto Shrimping here, so like putting
Firecracker
in a
used.
bit of pressure here early. I think that is Jojo who's rotated for a quick pick, but this might be interrupted. It is interrupted, and this is a good hook again on that top mid area.
Yeah.
Um, Probably, one of those
Oh,
infamous areas, and it is right on the progress gen as well. Pain Res will probably hit
yep.
the Aces gen, and then we will be able to kick this one, apply Eruption, and honestly, this is a good position for our killer here.
I'm also liking the build, by the way. But Pain Reser up corrupt, very standard stuff. And I am a Wretched Fate enjoyer myself. It's a really good perk here.
I mean,
Shrimp.
Wretched Fate, again, it is one of those, like many Hex perks, sometimes it puts in the work, sometimes it gets cleansed within 5 seconds, sometimes the survivors pop the gen and rotate and then find their Wretched Fate at the next gen they rotate to.
I
I know that's happened to me playing Survivor in scrims against Wretched Fate. I think it was
Yep.
actually against you, Mal.
I was gonna say, that sounds very familiar, Ava. Are you
Oh,
speaking from
okay,
experience?
that was a
Whoop!
beautiful
Oh,
fucking slice and
beautiful slice
dice.
and dice. Oh my. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I was like feeling pretty happy. Like, all right, I got my first hook. First gen pops. Wretched Fate is up. Ava's the obsession. I'm chilling. One survivor is a lot slower on the gens, and then I hear the totem get cleansed. I'm like, bruh.
That being said, Wretched Fate, when it is active, is such a good perk for tunneling because usually when you're tunneling,
You're
you've
not.
got three other
Yeah.
survivors going, yeah, we'll just split the gens, we'll get it done,
Yeah.
we'll do what we have to. But you've got one survivor who, until that totem is cleansed, is pretty useless. That 33%, I believe it is
Yes.
nothing to scoff at. It is a slow generator, and tell you what, it is boring to be sitting there on a gen that is 33% slower. That red bar, I know that there's a lot of people out there who hate their red bars, and I will tell you that is one of the worst.
I believe it makes the gen take about 2 minutes to do. It's absolutely hell to get gens done with it. And we're going to see it right here. Shrimping here, injured. Not really. The thing is also, Shrimping being injured is big because they can't really be like, oh, I'll just play for the unhook because I can't do gens well. Because they can't play for the unhook while injured. They have to get reset first, which means another survivor is off gens. And right now, we're going to have Elitos here come for a hook trade. And we are going to see a slug, 200 survivors, and the tunnel out in chase. Oh, we're going to see, sorry, not a slug, a hook here with a pain res.
I mean, I think it's always good to just take that pain rest. The survivor, you know, they're zoned towards Shack. All they
Yeah,
can
there's
really do is pre-drop that pallet, and then, you know, they've got like 6 to play, but it's not a whole lot of stuff around this bottom side of the map. Once Shack's gone, you've got that 6 filler, which can be good, but that's about it.
Yeah. Ooh, we catch Vasir trying to jiggy away from Shaq, but I don't think there's much for them to do. It's just this weird filler edge map. Not really a Z wall, but it is going to be a Vas here as our first sacrifice of the trial. 3 generators in Ava. Wretched still in play also.
Again, we've seen some pretty early tunnel outs in these games. The killers really just getting those downs quickly, showing their prowess with these powers.
Yes.
We saw earlier a beautiful use of slice and dice around Shack, and there we were just able to, you know, catch out that jiggy. And honestly, I don't blame the survivor for trying to jiggy up to 3, because if it paid off, that could have been huge. You know, that 3
It'll be
tile
very
is
hard.
not too
Yeah.
bad, and it could have
Uh,
bought, you know, another 40 seconds. A couple gens could have
yeah.
popped.
The thing is, right, if you're able to get distance against Chucky, he has to spend slice and dice to either catch up to you. And if he does that, his chase until slice and dice is back. Sorry, his chase until slice and dice comes back is going to be so weak. And if he doesn't use slice and dice to catch up to you, use a 4.4 killer, and you have distance. What can he do, right? It's kind of like a lose for him.
Indeed, it is, and so that's why I think that play was, you know,
Yeah,
it would have been great if it worked, but unfortunately, it just didn't.
yeah,
Farsi was
yeah.
just too quick and thought,
Some,
what would I do in this situation?
Yeah,
And there we go.
sometimes you gotta make a Hail Mary play sometimes, and sometimes those Hail Mary plays don't work out. A thing to note here, Jojo playing this palette is a bit hard against Chucky. I've experienced this before. You can't fucking see the killer because he's too short.
Indeed, and with the slice and dice, it really is just a 50-50. Can you, you know, send a bit of an unpredictable
Yeah.
vault, or are you just dead?
And even sometimes if you send the unpredictable vault, he scampers under the palette and gets you anyway, right? Like, yeah.
It's especially in those pallets where they can't really juke left or right, so
Yeah.
you know, it's quite
And
difficult to
once
actually.
again, we have another mid hooker, Ava. Oh, no, not a connection. Oh my. I thought I was gonna hit Ava.
And I do notice that Fasti is quite mechanically confident here on the Chucky, letting go of those
They are.
dashes early to make sure they get that large hitbox of the actual lunge,
lunge,
that
yeah.
happens at the end there, instead of holding until it's
They'll
too
run
late.
out. Yeah. Sometimes you'll overshoot the survivors if you hold, from what I find when I've tried out this killer a bit. I'm
Also
not
true.
I'm not the most into Chucky personally, because I kind of struggle with my 4.4s if I don't really enjoy the M2. I think like Slinger is the only 4.4 I really enjoy playing. But ooh, and
Yeah,
we are
I mean,
in chess.
4.4 killers, you know, I quite actually like the designs of them, because I think it's nice to be able to have very oppressive sort of chase powers that you have to master. You have to
Yeah.
be hitting those M2s. You can't just walk people down, or if you do, it's extremely inefficient. Um,
Yeah. The 4.4 killers really can have a lot more power budget allocated to their M2s, except for Haggett, apparently. So,
yeah, well, I mean, I think Hag should be 4.6. I think we can all agree. Give
yeah.
her 4.6 behavior if you're listening.
Yes, behavior,
It's
please.
about time. It's been 10 years. Like, come on.
For Hag. But we do get a slug here in Shack, and honestly, I really like the position Fasti is in. 2 generators remaining. Shack is a bit of prog, but we have a slug on Shack. We are chasing Litos. Shrimping here is finally clear of their wretched fate, but they are injured and were last spotted in the main area. I think we might see like a 4K1 result here, or if Fasty has some very good chases, we might see a 4K2.
They are playing Eruption on this top mid gen once again, and we're just trying to, use that undetectable a little bit to like force some rotations, maybe force some, hasty rotations, and make the
Yeah,
survivors second guess a little bit. And we do get back into chase on our ace here, pre-dropping this pallet, and playing this lightning tile, which I don't know about you, but I absolutely hate that tile, and I think they should
I
remove it from the game.
I really like that tile as killer. I hate it on Survivor. Absolutely unplayable. Well, to be fair, I'm pretty bad at Survivor, so I cannot play that tile to save my life on Survivor. I
I mean,
might
it
need to
feels good
ban.
when you win 50s on it, but when you lose 50s on it, it's just like, why did they add this tile to the game? Give me a jungle gym, give me a TNL, give me matchsticks for all I care. Just don't give me that tile.
Yep. A very good down here tripping. We're gonna take the pain rest here and 2 injured survivors. I think it's like I said earlier, Fasty is in a pretty solid position here, Ava.
It is a pretty solid position. 2 injuries on the board, one on the hook. That Gen at top mid is not looking too progressed anymore. Um, and
We
it looks
do
like we're
spawn
trailing
one of
some
the
scratch
injured.
marks here as well.
Yeah, we do see them. 11. They drop down into the bottom of the map. Will we see them? Oh, they drop pre-drop the pallet just in case. They have to play around the undetectable here. Slight undetectable value. Agenda's finished, so it's looking like we might see a 4K1. I believe that
Yeah,
might
and
have been
4K1 on Chucky is not a bad result
No,
at
that is a
all.
good result. We've seen Chucky several times this season, and this like I'd say half of the time you're seeing stages on this killer.
I mean, it is one of those killers which, again, like we were touching on before, the 4.4 aspect means you have to be hitting your power. You have to be using your power to its full potential,
Yeah,
or you are really just kind of harmless.
you kind
You're
of just
just
walk on the survivors
it's a slow
gracefully.
little doll, just meandering around the map with not much really going for you. But if you're hitting those slice and dices, or you're utilizing the scamper chaining to get a little bit of mobility in,
Mhm.
um, it can become quite
And we
oppressive.
can see there, very good scamper. And I think Fasty has shown us perfect examples of how lethal scamper can be this game.
Indeed.
But I don't know. Do you think another gen is on the table here for our survivors? Shrimping are doing a very good job dodging that scamper.
I think it's going to be hard. It is possible, but it's going to require that every time he rotates to one of those injured survivors, they don't really have time to slow it down and heal anymore.
Yeah.
They're just going to have to play those chases perfectly, and
Ooh.
that is a great hit with the slice and dice.
Not gonna lie, I thought that they were gonna get auto aimed onto that little metal like box there. That was a really good down. And we're gonna see here a drag to the active gen disaster for our survivors, Ava. Oh no. I also Fasty's opting not to kick the gen here in mid. So we're checking main as well. So you're like mid main 7. I mean, I guess if our survivors weren't all like injured, I would say like we could see a gen pop because like main and 7 you could like split pressure that. But right now you have a hook in the center, double injured survivors. The gen at 7 not really progressed. The gen at mid next to the hook is where most of the progress is, and a bit of progress in main. It's going to be a bit hard here.
It is indeed. I think at this point, it's going to be very hard to get anything else done.
Yeah. I mean, I think for a gen to finish here, we need an immaculate chase from either from shrimping Jojo or Litos or Jojo if they get pulled. That is, and I don't know, like a lot of the resources as well on the map have been used, and Fasty has proven that they are absolutely a menace with their slice and dice, so it's looking
I
quite
think
grim.
I think it is, and they know that they don't really have to commit anything. They can see every
They
gen that could possibly be worked.
Yeah, there's
It's
no
right
prog
there.
on 7. We literally can sit on the top here of main, constantly pressure them off of main, and then like Jojo is just dead on hook. You're not pulling that. Oh
Yeah,
no,
it's
we're
just not
at
happening.
1v2, two injured survivors, Ava. I think 4K1's on definitely is the result here.
I do think so as well.
Yeah, and I think that Fasty did such a good job with their slice and dice, such a good job on the Chucky. Very happy to see this. You always love to see good plays from our killers. To be fair, I'm a bit biased. I am a killer player, but it's also lovely to see good plays from our survivors. But like, I don't know, the skill expression on these 4.4 killers, like you said, you really can tell when they're really confident with their power because you can just see how fast chases can end.
We do get it down there, and I think it's all about
Yeah,
to just
I think
finish up here.
yeah, we're pretty much going to be entering the final stages of our game. We're going to see a hook here, and we probably will be seeing the final chase happen pretty soon, unless Shrimping here manages to go some crazy stealth play and get the pull. The game is pretty much over, and with that noise notification, I think the game is.
Like, yeah.
Oh, oh, whoa!
Was,
Wait,
was that a pebble?
Shrimping was that a uh, hold? What was that a maybe it might have been a pebble, though we have not seen a pebble at any point before that this match. That is a devious pebble if it was. Shrimping, like I said, oh, I guess the game is over unless Shrimping does some devious stealth play. And there's the devious stealth play, Ava. Holy, what a
I
pull!
am not quite sure what I just saw, honestly. Um,
Oh,
if it was a pebble, that might be the most valuable pebble you will ever see.
in Titan.
Especially
Oh,
if they can somehow hold this out and get that last gen popped, but
yeah.
it's not looking likely still.
I mean,
It's
there
still
is
just so
decent prog on the board, but there's not much resources left to have a chase, right? And oh, with that down, now there's eruption in main. I think it is definitely our final chase here, as there's no way. Oh, is that
deception.
deception? That's what that was. I see. I rate that, honestly. But unfortunately, we have our aura reading from our eruption here, Ava. It is see red, slice and dice at red, apparently. And that will be a 4K one here for Fasti, and a well earned 4K one, I might add. Very well played by them.
Yeah, and a 4K2 win con again. Quite
Yeah,
difficult. Quite difficult
4K.
to match.
Yeah, 4K2 win con on Chucky. It's possible. We have seen 4K2s on Chucky for Ace here getting worried. But it is also equally likely that we're going to see stages because again this killer is not the strongest killer. It's very very abusable, the fact that they're 4.4, so we're going to have to see how Evori does. They're not out just yet, but it is going to be an uphill battle, I feel. So we're going to get that next lobby sorted, and Ava and I will see you guys in a bit. Hello and welcome back to Blood Rush League Season 4 Lower Bracket Round 7 here with Aegis versus Evori. And we have our second game of our third set, our tiebreaker of Chucky, with a win condition here for Shrimping on Evori at a 4K2 and a tie condition of a 4K1. We are up against our Aegis survivors of Fasti, Bex, Shen, and Drago. And it looks like we have Fasti here on Sable in our first chase. And we'll just have to see. Looks like never mind. Fasti, we have dropped the chase on Fasti, and we are going to 3. Ava, how are you? You're back once again with the Chucky.
Well, I'm looking at the build again, and it looks like a lot of the same. And if we get that same amount of wretched fate value in this game, I think it's possible to see, a 4K2 possibly.
Yeah,
But
no,
again, it's gonna be quite difficult because once you've got that 4K1 win con, as I've said before, it
it's
just takes
a lot of
so much
pressure.
pressure off the shoulders of the survivor team. It's
Yeah, I think Fasti definitely set their team up again for success here, and it's just up to the other 3 survivors and Fasti to capitalize on what they have done. We do spot Fasti here on the Ormental at 3, unfortunately losing the 50 because you cannot see Chucky. Whoa, 4.4 moment. We do not connect the M1 there, Ava.
and those are the little kinds of things you can
Oh,
get away with against 4.4 killers, which you might not be able to against the 4.6.
that's true, and we
That
do get
extra fake of the window, forcing that swing because when you're playing a 4.4 killer, if you can get an M1, it can be great because your power is available. It might be a quick 2 tap, but again,
yeah,
giving those tags as a 4.4, it's it's quite unlikely when the survivors are really, you know, paying attention to and have good resources to work with.
Fasty pathing really well here, making it really hard for Slice and Dice to connect, and Fasty not vaulting right away, waiting to see where the killer goes, doing a really good job here in main. But unfortunately, I think they're going to be running out of resources very soon. 2 generators pop in the background, 3 gens remaining, Ava, and we might see a 3rd generator pop very soon.
And this is exactly the kind of start you want to see if you are trying to, you know, get that nice, quick, easy 4K1 win. And we have a pallet save here too. This is looking very good for us.
Wretched Fate in play, and that could potentially be a game-winning pallet stun, honestly. Like, extending this first chase by so much. Uobex here, unfortunately, has to go be doing the generator with Wretched Fate. Never mind. Caster's Curse. My apologies. And we do see the down here instead on Drago. Drago, honestly, extending that first chase, first down to such a big degree here. But we will be seeing a pain res here at the 8 o'clock dial.
We will be seeing a pain res, but I don't really think it's going to be doing all that much, as Survivors have already got so much pressure on the board.
Yeah.
It was a pretty delayed first down, and
I mean, if
we've got a quick pull here too, because we don't really have much to lose when we've already got so much pressure on the board, and
yeah.
we only need to pop 2 more generators, so it's...
We're in chase here with Uobex. I mean, right now, right? Like, if you're on the shoes of the survivors, Ava, you're just like, you know what? What if we just double a gen twice? Like, you're chilling, right? Like,
yeah, like, it is quite a relaxing win con to face, especially once you have a good start like that as well. Like, the only thing that can really, you know, dampen the relaxation of, you know, a 4K1 win con is, you know, someone getting tapped really early, hooked in a terrible spot, and then, you know, there being no progress on the board for that down.
Yeah, but Fasty there had a really good chase in main. Like, they're pathing, forcing the shrimping here, not being able to connect the slice and dice. Oh, bouncing a bit off of the sandbags there. I love this game.
So that's an interesting little maneuver there. I'm not sure exactly what you would call that tech, but it was... Oh, we do get the M1 there, though. This could be a quick 2-tap.
Yeah, Uobex here has to go and not die, and... Ooh! Threading the needle there, barely. Off. Yeah, game of centimeters or inches, some would say. Oh my god. And the thing is, we also did see Drago and Fasty reset there. We have, once again, our lovely Tori perk clean break on Drago, so we're going to be seeing that health state come back in about, I think, 30 seconds from now. And Uobex here just has to loop for their life, honestly. And there goes Drago.
We'll see that down come in, but as you can see, another gen, almost about to pop. We might be able to get a pain res to interrupt it, however.
Yes. Yeah, we will see the pain res here. The pain res definitely will come through. Shen letting go of the gen. There it is.
It's still such an uphill battle for Shrimping.
I mean, we have Eruption. We have 2 more pain rest charges. There is gen regression available, but we need to get these downs very quickly. We need to start snowballing this game. We need to see injuries come out. We need to see health states being lost, pallets that are good being removed from play in a reasonable amount of time, and we have to see survivors off of these gens. And on a killer like Chucky, where you don't have a lot of mobility aside from slice and dice, it could be a bit difficult. And we have Fasty once again in chase doing the generator here at 9. They are playing this wonderful, your favorite tile, Ava. The
lightning tile, or some people call it a snake gem. Some people, I don't know.
Z-tile? I like to call it the Z-tile.
Many different names, but I think one thing everyone can agree on it is that it's not a very good tile. It sucks.
It sucks on Survivor. I like it on Killer.
Well, I mean on Killer, especially if you're in like an Oni set or something and you catch a Survivor there, if they, you know, weren't pre-leaving as much as they would, you know, like to.
You might see that Oni tag come in very early. Ooh, what a flick! Very well played.
We do see 2 more generators pop in the background.
We are at our Tycon.
The WinCon met.
Yes, and we are at our Tycon. We maybe might see another tie, but it's looking very unlikely, as I don't think we can interrupt Shen's gen. 3, 2, 1, pop! And that means that this does definitely secure the win here for our lovely Aegis. They did such a good job here. Fasty taking a hit. And I believe Uobex here is going to try and body block the slice and dice. Not
It
quite
is
50.
quite hard to body block the slice and dice, though, as he can choose to just slide off the survivor
Oh,
and slide on
everyone
in.
here, everyone. Oh, the 15 seconds BT, Ava.
And
Oh,
I, along with many other people, will probably be glad to see that in an upcoming patch that is going to be reverted to the 10 seconds, because those situations like that are just criminal, and
oh.
we will see a down though on Fusty. That is a couple of extra stages, and
Will
we
we
might
see a
see a
pick?
heal
We
tech
do
come
see a pick.
through.
Oh,
We
wait.
see the
Oh,
beam.
the beamer. Oh my lord. And that will be a 3-stage 2 fresh. Oh my. I think we could have probably taken our time. They were a bit far from the gate there, but holy hell, well played by Aegis. They really did such a good job on that Chucky tiebreaker. And I mean, it
Yeah,
was yeah, it was rough after that first chase. You could definitely tell Fasti plays that killer, and you could definitely tell their experience with what the killer can and can't make. Did you see like at the start where they were like maneuvering around the tiles in the top of main, where like it forced Shrimping to try to take hard turns, and at one point they just couldn't take the turn and had to stop the slice and dice and hit the rain. It's a really good play, honestly.
yeah, and it is just one of those things with understanding how power works at an intimate level from playing the killer to just be
Yeah.
able to you know do those little niche counterplays which can often be so valuable.
Yes, but unfortunately, this does mean that since we are in the lower bracket, Evori will be eliminated. But they have done such an amazing job this season. Honestly, going all the way to lower seven, that's such a big thing. And we will be seeing Aegis move up into lower bracket round eight, and it's going to be up against either Zero Practice or Bleed Out. So we're going to have to see how that turns out. I'm very excited, Ava. I know I mean, I honestly, not gonna lie, if it's bleed out, I might be a bit biased because my friends are on that team, but we're going to have to see how it goes. But I hope you had fun, Ava. I know you love your artist set, and I think that artist set was very lovely. Same with the
I
Lich set and the
absolutely
Chucky.
do love an artist set, and it is a pleasure to cast with you, Mel.
It is. It's very lovely having you here to cast with. I hope to cast with you again very soon. But that will be it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all had a wonderful time and had as much fun as myself and Ava had. If you are interested in seeing more of Blood Rush League, please come join our Discord. Check out our Discord because it will have upcoming matches, so you never will miss one of the very exciting matches in the following days and weeks. And if you follow our Twitch, you'll get notified when we go live. And finally, if you miss a match or your favorite team did a match, it was offline, you didn't quite get to catch it, and you really want to see how they did, you can check out our YouTube channel. Blood Rush League has all the matches from this season and last season as well, and the previous seasons before that. So, but yeah, I'm Mal. This is Ava. We hope to see you guys all next time and have a lovely rest of the day. Bye.